I'm told the app is back and working, so if you listen to us on the iHeartRadio app, thank you for your service. And let me know if you listen to the show from outside Ohio. I'd like to know where our bureau chiefs are. Gilly listens to the show in Butler, Pennsylvania. Ashley's in Minot, North Dakota. Emily, what?
Oh, just Minot. I've memories of going to
Yeah,
Minot.
you performed in Minot.
Early days on the road.
Yeah.
Did some Minot gigs. Spent a Christmas in Minot, North Dakota, and it was depressing.
I bet.
Christmas in Minot, I'm missing you. And did you ever do any Minot, North Dakota girls?
No, I didn't. I don't think I had any hookups in Minot.
All right.
Because I was
probably would have remembered.
Like early in my career, I didn't really have that many hookups, and then I got into a relationship that started in marriage and ended in divorce. So, like my years on the road, I wasn't like hooking up. I wasn't like a road beef guy.
Gotcha. Doug listens in Dundalk, Maryland. And Ken listens in Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you, one and all. Hey, Patrick, what's going on?
Hey, Alan, what's up, buddy?
How are you?
Good. I just had a quick comment and a question. My comment, who doesn't love a good wet taco? But no one likes a dripping taco.
I mean,
I see what he
wet
did.
taco is just fine, right there.
I see what he did.
I mean, I don't mind
All
a
right.
little drippy.
Maybe a little. When you think of a drip, though, it's more like an ooze, and that could be something a little funky
Yeah, I don't
in there,
want
right, Bill?
no oozing.
Yeah. No oozing. But
Yeah.
a wet taco is just fine, right? My question, Alan, I'm in Newton Falls, and I was just curious if I could be an honorary bureau chief, or chief, as you say, in Newton Falls. I know you normally do bureau chiefs like outside of Ohio.
Yeah, where is Newton Falls?
It's about 40 minutes southeast of Cleveland, 45-ish maybe.
I mean, the bureau chiefs are for people who have to listen to the show on the app. Are you able to pick up
Well, I don't
WMMS
have
out
to.
there?
Yes, I can actually, which is very fortunate because I grew up in Cleveland, so I can still get it where I'm at.
Yeah.
I just was curious if I could be an honor, even if it's just for this brief time I'm on the phone with you today.
Oh, sure. While
If I
you're
could
on the
be-
phone. Yeah, of course. Zip code 44444 out there in Newton Falls.
That's correct.
Don't forget that one. Yes, for the duration of this call, Patrick, you can be my bureau chief in Newton Falls, Ohio.
All right, great. So every time I call back, I'll remind you that I'm the
You'll
bureau
have
chief
to.
for the call.
All right, sir.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. And his stint as a bureau chief has ended. I did get a message from someone on that very topic, by the way.
Hey, Alan, it's Caitlin. Hate the show. I just wanted to let you know that over the weekend I said Kansas City Chiefs to my boyfriend and had him rolling. Unfortunately, your lingo has made its way into my everyday vocabulary. Just wanted to let you know. Thanks. Bye.
Why is that unfortunate? Sounds like they had a fun time. She made him laugh. Unfortunately.
Had him rolling. That's good.
Oh, come on. I don't want to leave, as I go through some of our bureau chiefs, I don't want to leave out Megan, who is our bureau chief in Bismarck, North Dakota. I don't know how far Bismarck is from Minot.
Really far.
Is it?
Yeah.
Isn't Bismarck the capital?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
It's a huge state.
she sent me the information that the town of Bismarck, North Dakota, is being stricken with a strain of horse herpes.
Oh, no.
So if you're an equestrian or somebody who deals professionally with the equine, they're in Bismarck, North Dakota. Obviously, this is nothing. You know, they always say this is nothing people have to worry about, but they've been saying that every time we get one of these zoonotic viruses, it's something that previously didn't pose a threat to us.
I stand corrected. It's only about a 2-hour drive.
But that's 2 hours in North Dakota.
That's a long drive.
Probably a long drive, right? So thank you, Megan, for keeping me apprised.
Is this human? This isn't.
This is horse herpes. So far, they say it poses no threat to humans, but they always say that.
Then some
COVID.
chucklehead's gonna
get horse herpes.
Yeah, some Mr. Hands wannabe is gonna do some stuff with the horse, and then it's all of a sudden it's gonna be transferred to people.
Like that Zoo documentary from some years ago.
That's Mr. Hands.
Yeah. So, yeah, as of now, we have nothing to worry about. But listen,
You want to watch a scary movie,
What?
Mary?
I don't.
church camp, Jesus camp.
Jesus Camp's a good one. Man,
He sent me something about that the other day.
because
Watch what?
Mary had a post of all her nieces and nephews doing the Pledge of Allegiance.
It was on Thanksgiving. They
Yeah.
were just being weird kids.
Right.
They kept
Okay.
coming downstairs and doing like a performance, or they would each have to come and tell a secret or whatever. And one of the times they came downstairs, because all the adults are sitting in the living room, they just got in like a huddle and they're like, hee, they're all like giggling. And then all of a sudden my oldest niece goes, and then they all go, I pledge allegiance. And then they just did the Pledge of Allegiance. So
But it reminded
Kids probably still
me,
do it in school.
I
every
assumed,
day.
yeah.
But it just reminded me of a scene from Jesus Camp, which I hadn't even thought of that movie
I've never even heard of it.
until like
Oh, you should watch Jesus
Yeah.
camp.
Okay.
That
until
thing's like 15 years old.
I
by
saw
now.
them doing that, and I like had this flashback. I'm like, oh man, all the kids in Jesus Camp do a Pledge of Allegiance, but they're doing it with their own words.
And they're pledging to the Bible.
Yeah, and they're pledging to the Bible, and it's real weird. And I was just like, oh, your creepy nieces and nephews remind me of these creepy kids.
But I was like, we didn't tell them to do that. At least I don't
Yeah.
think my brothers and sisters make their kids do the Pledge of Allegiance. I thought it was just, them being silly kids.
That Ted Haggard dude was in Jesus camp. Remember that guy?
No.
The pastor that was seeing a male prostitute
Oh,
and doing
yeah.
meth in hotel rooms, and yeah, one of these big pious church guys, always doing something funky.
I've been that God documentary about on Hulu. What is that one called? About the guy that had the pool boy. That was good.
Oh, Jerry Falwell
Yeah.
Jr.
That was a good documentary. That was
I haven't
an
seen
interesting
that.
one. That was
Watched
worth
it.
watching. Did
We're
you
still
watch it?
watching Killer Sally.
I'm watching. Then I got through 2 episodes of the Killed the Baby. I can't remember people's
Casey
names.
Anthony.
Casey Anthony.
Killed
yeah.
the baby.
That one is really upsetting because she's talking about how her dad molested her, but it's really hard to believe her because she seems
Not
so
credible.
weird and so not credible because of how she handled her baby going missing.
Mm-hmm.
You find out your baby's missing, and then for 30 days, you're hanging out at clubs, buying big old cases of beer from Target and stuff like that. It's really hard to believe anything she says.
Is the dad anywhere in the mix?
Of the baby?
Yeah.
No, she said she doesn't know who the dad is because she said she was raped and that's how she got pregnant.
Did they determine that was the case?
They really
I guess there's no way to determine that.
They really
yeah.
couldn't
Hmm.
track it to anybody.
Because you'd think that if the dad was a guy who she was in a relationship with, that he would have come forward.
Yeah.
A rapist obviously isn't going to come, confess and go, "That's my kid."
So-
Alan was at Mary's comedy show a few weeks ago at Hilarities. She was talking to my buddy and his wife in the front row. My friend didn't want to say anything at the moment when Mary was cracking jokes on them, but he had just caught his wife screwing another dude in their bed. I'm like, what? And he took her to a comedy show?
I wish I knew
And
what
he
show
said
this
yes.
was.
Don't know.
a
That
few
doesn't
weeks
narrow
ago.
it down very much, but I know you like talking to people there. But
I did a crowd work show a couple of weeks ago where there was a couple in the front row that I asked how they met. And I asked them if they met at church, actually, because they were very buttoned up. And I wonder if it was them. But no, they had been together. Well, I guess you can still cheat if you've been together 13 years. I was like, no, they've been together
you
a long
can,
Makes it
time.
easier.
you can still do it. Yeah, you can still do it.
Not
if,
those two. Come on.
Right. Oh.
Ooh,
He even,
that's a wild one.
he even caught her on their house camera making a gagging noise.
Oh, no.
Well, maybe she was. Maybe she has a lot of medication, and she had one of those really big pills, and she couldn't get it down.
Gross.
Something like that. But boy, what's he hanging around for after that? No, by the way, for people who are asking me, because I did start watching it, horse herpes, not a Yellowstone spoiler. I don't even think I'm 3 episodes into that. I'm way behind
How is it? Is it
on
good?
Yellowstone. Too early to tell. But I mean, it's a massive show. So I don't think all those people are wrong. I'm sure it's fun.
I binged Dead to Me season 3 last night.
Yep.
Sobbing.
Yeah, it was all, Gwen was crying at the end. It was all
sobbing.
Well, Gwen didn't do that. She was kind of quietly crying there.
couldn't.
But it got very quiet, and I looked over at her, and she was crying, kind of wiping her eyes. I was like, well, that Linda Cardellini is crazy
She's
hot.
so pretty. Like, I'm watching
Very
it, and I'm like,
foxy.
she is like, just, her, like, face.
I shouldn't even say crazy hot. She's just like this very, very pretty.
So pretty.
Yes.
Very just traditionally attractive.
Like a normal-looking person,
Yeah.
but very pretty.
I have had a rough few weeks with grief, just holidays in general. And so yesterday was a particularly bad day. And then I went out and I did a show and I came home and my boyfriend was like, hey, you want to watch Dead to Me? Because I was feeling good after the show. I was like, yeah, actually, I've been meaning to. And then it's like every episode, I ended up like ugly crying because I'm like, oh my God, this is just like my dad.
It's like the first 2 seasons were funny, but they created this storyline where everything had to be wrapped up, and none of it's funny.
None of it's funny.
None of it's funny.
There's like 1 or 2 funny lines each episode. It wasn't like the first 2 seasons where they're cracking real dark jokes. It's mostly sad. I will say that.
Yeah.
But it had to be. It's still
Did
good. It's still well written.
Right, but I thought they just took it. It had to be sad because of the direction they took it.
Right.
Which they didn't have to do.
They didn't have to do that. And I will say this about probably because there's 10 episodes, they're each between 30 and 40 minutes. And about the 5th episode in, I was like, what are they doing? Because I felt like they were throwing so many different plot points in that every episode there was 3 new plot points you had to worry about.
It is a quick
But
binge,
still
though. I mean,
sad.
mercifully, it's a quick binge. Even 10 episodes
5
of
hours.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
It was
5.5 hours.
didn't feel like that, but.
Yeah, I did that. I was up till 3:30 in the morning watching it last night.
So when did you wake up tired? You wake up exhausted because you've been crying all night.
I woke up at noon today. Don't even do that. I went to bed at 3:30.
Listen, I asked her to get her sleep for Mare Guitar.
And I'm glad
I said,
I did.
you are going to have to be at your peak physical condition.
Mm-hmm.
And she was. She took the first round. The lady took the second round.
Mm-hmm.
People go, oh, Mary's going to win every round, and you're going to send her with 6 tickets to Detroit.
That'd be sweet.
And I go, ease off, all right? This is all on the up and up. You just calm yourself. These people have as much people out that window. I want to give it to them.
Yeah.
I want to. I don't want to send Mary there with her heavy metal eye wings.
So good. This isn't even as metal as it's going to get. It's going to get more metal over the next 2 days.
I had someone messaging and saying the eyeliner is not metal. Said it looks
Why?
great, but it's not metal. I
Why?
don't know, because people say things like that.
It's more hair bandy, which is part of the heavy metal lore.
Okay.
It's part of the heavy
Maybe
metal
it's
tradition.
not Metallica.
Correct.
But do you know what it is? It's
But I'm-
Metallica,
right.
which is the whole point.
Of course. You do what you want to do.
Mhm.
You make your face look however you want to.
Look at
It's
you.
your face.
Progressive.
Yeah, I don't.
I've
care
always said
either.
make your face look the way. Man.
So how are you gonna get more metal?
Don't worry about it. Tune in. Show up at 4:20 every day,
That's right.
as in tomorrow and Wednesday,
That's right.
and battle me.
Battle.
If you would have showed up today, you'd have had a 50% chance of going
Yeah.
to that show.
That's true. It's true.
Honestly, if you would have showed up today and done anything entertaining, you would have won. I mean, I'm
Gets
glad they
dark and
won.
it
They
get-
got their things, but
Yeah.
they weren't really putting on a show.
It gets dark and it gets cold down here.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know what to expect, by the way. That's why I'm always very sanguine about these, but I also don't expect, because Rob's like, oh, we're going to have 50 people down here. I'm like,
We'll
that would
see.
be great, but
We might have
all
50
I need's
tomorrow.
one winner. You never know. I thought we'd have more people than the Smashing Pumpkins contest, but what do I know? It was day 1. We got 2 more days. Once word gets around that, you're going to be up against something with Mary Santora, and things change a little bit.
Mhm.
People think they're going to wipe the floor with you. It's
I'm
a whole
pretty
other
good.
thing. She's pretty good.
And I didn't even bust out.
She's
all
playing
the
that.
moves.
She's playing that super long neck bendy guitar.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
It is.
She's playing like a friggin' sitar.
It's made just for me and my body and my skills.
Yeah.
You know the saying, my body, my skills.
My body, my skills. There's a realtor in Indiana who had to call it. Well, I don't know if they had to. They were going to show a home. There's nobody living in this home, but they were going to show the home, and they mistook a novelty alarm clock for a bomb and called the bomb squad. Because I guess nobody investigates anything anymore. Nobody goes, oh, is this a clock or an actual bomb?
All of this over a toy. I get a text from my cousin who's like, hey, can you get a hold of your mom or dad? Because there's a bomb squad at your house.
There was a novelty toy in the house, a clock that looked like dynamite.
It looks exactly like a bomb, like a TNT bomb. And it just has like in the back, it has like a little space where you can put like batteries and stuff in it. And it's an alarm clock.
She had like a
Who is?
Yeah, right.
how
it's
old
a
is
real
this person?
Whitney vibe there. I don't know how old she is.
But that was my alarm clock because I was a heavy sleeper. And it's got to set off the alarm with the bomb or I don't wake up.
She was the one who used to live in the house. She's a grown woman,
Yeah.
but she's got big Britney energy there.
You got to get yourself big Britney energy.
You heard her, right?
Yeah.
I heard
Oh,
her.
yeah.
Yeah.
We heard her.
We heard her. We heard her big time.
You wouldn't have a bomb alarm clock, though, in your house.
You have to.
You have to?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not supposed to go off like a bomb. It's just
Yeah.
this one looked like a bomb.
Also,
get
it
a
sounds like
bomb
it looks
safe
like
space.
a bomb that you'd see in a cartoon, not a bomb that you'd see
Right.
in real life
Sticks of dynamite around a clock.
with wires sticking out of it.
You can't even use that joke anymore. It used to be like, hey, I sent you a package. As long as it's not ticking. They don't tick anymore. People are setting bombs off with their cell phones. Nothing ticks anymore.
Yeah, we learned that from Fight Club.
Unless you want to go old school.
In the back, it has like a little space where you can put like batteries and stuff in it. And it's an alarm clock.
It's an alarm
It's an alarm clock. Don't make fun of her.
and put batteries in it.
Put the battery in the alarm clock and then how else you going to wake up?
Yeah. All right.
You know?
Do you sleep as late as Mary does? She slept until noon
Oh, I
today.
sleep till 7 p.m.
7 p.m.?
Yeah.
Wow.
7.
So long days for you then.
But I'm up till like 2 in the afternoon.
Wait.
I'm like Einstein. I need 40 minutes every day.
You're up until 2 in the afternoon,
Yeah.
but you go to bed at
No,
7?
she wakes up.
I go to bed
You-
at 2 p.m.
She wakes up at 5-7.
I wake up at 7 afternoon.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And then I'm up until 2 p.m.
Wow. That's a wild schedule you've got going.
I'm very busy.
All right, good.
Doing what?
You know, I got programs that I run, and I do a lot of charity work.
A lot of charity work.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got to go.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7.
WMMS. Rover's Morning Glory.
I saw Doogie and her daughter over the weekend. Doogie is not known as a deep